When I last left you, we had just begun our ascent to Gyeongjin Gompa. It's about a 3-day trek to an altitude of 3,800 meters, and usually it's done in about 12 to 15 hours, depending on your skill level. This is our first suspension bridge, and we're going to stop and try to get a photo. There is a surprising array of plant life along the way, and a number of striking views to compete. The trail isn't always easy, but sometimes that's what makes it worth doing. Namaste. Nepali ingenuity. Oh, you're about to get butted. But wait, there's more! So here's our trekking crew behind me. They got a little tired, but they have a lot of weight on them, so. Whenever you need to recover from the climb, there seems to always be lemon ginger tea waiting. Okay, this is what our room looks like. There's always a guy in here. Just comes with the room. His name's Ray. No, just single, double bed things here, so really basic, one light. One light, one love. A little separate kitchen area. A little hangout. Some toilets over there. Most major treks in Nepal have small villages with tea houses that offer accommodation. Most come with hot meals and sometimes a hot shower if you're lucky. We stayed at the Llama Hotel last night. This is about 2,500 meters, and I had been feeling sick the last couple days, but today I feel great, so that's good news. And we're gonna get some breakfast soon and then head off again.
Staring out at California, held everything she wanted in this life. Cassette tapes in the deck, so tired of living in slow motion.
The national flower of Nepal is a rhododendron. They bloom between March and April, and they come in a variety of stunning colors.
Girls, they tied away. If you try to lock her down, she'll take the fire escape. She said, please send pictures of home, 'cause I was born for life on the road. There ain't no part of me that's alone. Every right thing just feels so wrong.
So we're in Tangshap, and we have about 1.5 hours left to go on this portion of the trek. It's been sunshiny all day, but these clouds are now starting to move in, so we'll probably be covered in clouds the rest of the day. One cool thing, cool and scary, and whatever you want to put behind it, is that the cliffside behind me, the mountainside, all the trees have been knocked over and just cracked. They're generally dead, and that was from the hurricane force winds caused by the landslide that was in Langtang. And Langtang is still like about an hour walk away, so you can just imagine how far away that pushed the wind to cause that kind of hurricane destruction. So it was just so incredibly powerful. It's such an amazing place. So we've made it to Langtang, and behind me, it's a little washed out from this video, but that was the landslide that happened in the Gorkha earthquake of April of 2015. National Geographic said it was higher than an 8.1 or 2. The government itself has to step in if it's above an 8, so they said it was a 7.9. And at this location, nearly 300 people died and are buried. Not all of them, 100 people are still buried underneath this rock slide. 70 of the 300 that died were foreigners, and 10 were military, and the rest were locals. So it's a really sacred place now. And it actually shot straight down this sheer rock face, so it got a lot of momentum, a lot of speed off that, and just wiped right through there. And on the other side, all the trees are laying flat in the direction that the wind pushed them down, so a lot of force. Now walking over what used to be the city, and it's of course just rocks and rubble. It's a lot to take in. We awoke to a perfect day and began our last leg to Gyeongjin Gompa. Hello Chris, how are you doing?
Having a grand old time.
So Chris and I are walking past the largest Mani wall in all of Nepal. They're like mantras for blessings, and each one of these stones are inscribed separately and all done by hand. The people of Nepal love singing and dancing, so I always try to encourage our guests to join in and have a little bit of fun. With every new day, the views somehow get better and better. especially as the mountain peaks scrape the clouds and seem to rise beyond sight. We're going to be spending the next 2 nights in this town called Kanjingomba, and a lot, if not all, of the buildings that you can see behind me are basically brand new. A very large portion of the residents here used to be in the Langtang area, those that lost their guest houses or who otherwise could not stay there for whatever reason, or just saw a better opportunity to be here. This area is sort of a crossroads for a bunch of different treks, different routes up the mountains, and just a really good base camp sort of a thing. I was lucky enough to have a chat with the owner of our guest house, and he told me the story of what happened to him while he was in Langtang during the earthquake. He had his own guest house there at the time, but also leads treks, so he was guiding somebody up. And at the same time, his wife was taking his daughter to school, so all 3 of them were away from the area just as the landslide hit and wiped out everybody else he knew, wiped out his business, his home, and a lot of his friends that are also his employees, kind of like family to him, and then of course the guests that were staying there. And so he made his new life up here. And even though things were terrible, of course, for what happened, he was able to leave with his family and has at least that going for him, and is restarting his business. He opened it only about, what would be about 6 months ago, and he says his business is starting to pick up, and it's an amazing little town here that's grown. They have everything you need, bakeries and shops and those sorts of things, and they're newer, so they have better showers and things. So if you're looking to do Langtang, this is really well worth it. Come up, give them the support, and help them kind of restart their lives and do what they're happy doing.